Hi everyone, and special hi to all the moms out there doing it all. If you're feeling like your budget is way too tight right now, I want you to know that you are not alone. Between the increase of grocery prices, higher bills, and those kids' expenses, hello, summer camp, it can feel like there's never room in our budget. In today's video, I've got 6 super simple tips to help you create more room in your budget so you have more money to use for your family and reduce financial stress at home. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Sisters for Financial Independence. I cover topics related to money, motherhood, and everything else in between. If you want more money for your family so you can live your best life, consider subscribing. I know time is of the essence, so let's get to the tips. The first tip I have for you today is to actually look at your spending. Today is the day that you are going to look at all of your bank and credit card transactions and to really see if those expenses make sense. I know that many of us are on autopilot. We're busy, we're shuffling our kids, we're going to work, we're trying to meet deadlines. And sometimes that can mean that we default to spending. We don't pause to think about if what we are spending actually is necessary or makes sense. And it's easy to do. A lot of our apps support one-click buying. Credit cards are now tap to pay, so it's easy to go on, buy something, and move on with our day. So my first tip for you today is to actually set aside some time. Maybe it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes to review all of your spending transactions. Now, I know many of us might not be doing this because we're too busy, or we might actually know what we're spending money on, but we are too afraid to look. Now is the time to take the courageous route and actually look at what you are spending and get honest with yourself. I'm also going to recommend that you start writing down your transactions on a daily basis so you have that connection between spending and your mind and your body. Electronics, of course, has made our life easy, but it has disconnected us. So when you start writing down your transactions, when you are actually putting your physical and mental activity to the fact that you are spending money, you will realize immediately whether what you're spending money makes sense or if you need to figure out how to cut back. Along with this tip, I also encourage you to do this one thing. Tally up all of your transactions against company or store and really see if those sums of money are worth it for you. Are you okay with spending one of your paychecks to Target or to Amazon? Going through this tally and seeing the sums of money that you are sending to these large corporations can make you rethink whether you are actually spending your money in the right direction. Oftentimes, we do default to spending as a solution to our problem. So now might be the time to really figure out other ways to solve your problems without spending any money. And of course, this takes time. So this is going to be an experiment that you are going to need to try to do for yourself and your family to curb your spending and get more room in your budget for other things that you want to do. My next tip is to review your subscriptions. Now, I know this tip appears across all of the personal finance videos and blogs that you probably come across, but there is a reason why. The subscription model is one of the most profitable business models for a lot of companies because they make it easy for consumers to continue being opted into whatever service they have. Subscription models play on our fear of missing out as well as they play on our busyness. Subscription models will tell you that why don't you subscribe so that you can save money, maybe a few % off, as well as ensure you get delivery of all the things. Now, I understand the convenience of this and I totally get it, but sometimes we need to actually look to see if we're actually saving money and time when we subscribe to these certain subscription services. The auto renewal concept is a boon for businesses. They really make it easy for us to spend money. But if we are not paying attention, if we are not stopping to see what we're subscribed to, we could literally lose hundreds of dollars every month to these auto renewals, which means tighter budgets overall. So I want this video to be actionable. So we are going to take 2 minutes from this video and check our subscriptions together. Now I have an iPhone, so we are going to use the iPhone subscription area to see what we're subscribed to. So you are going to log on to your phone. You are going to go to settings and you are going to go under your account name. So you'll see your Apple ID there with your information and you are going to click on that tab called subscriptions, and you are going to see what you are subscribed to. Now, if you are part of the Apple family, or if there's a Google family version for this too, look to see what you are subscribed to and what your family is subscribed to, and see if those subscriptions make sense now for your family. If some of the subscriptions are old, make sure they are set to not auto renew so you don't get charged for the next billing cycle. I'd also ask your family members if some of these are necessary. Maybe these are apps that your children loved last year, but they're no longer into. Make sure you turn it off and cancel that subscription. And I'd also recommend, again, for all of these, disable auto renew. If you really feel like they are important, you can always go back and renew your subscription. And doing this will likely save you hundreds a month. I want to share with you our story with Amazon Prime. Like most households, we had Amazon Prime and we loved the convenience of getting things at our door the next day. But one year I was tallying up all of our expenses. So this is for the whole year. And I saw that we had spent thousands of dollars going to Amazon. And I was not happy with this. I was not happy that we were sending so much to Amazon and seeing in my house a lot of clutter, a lot of things that were used once, maybe some things that were not even open. So I got to thinking and I got to figuring out what we were doing. And it turned out that we were defaulting to Amazon to buying little knickknacks, things that we thought we needed, immediately put it on the cart and immediately bought it and arrived at our door. So we made the decision to cancel our Prime membership. And I want to tell you that this was not an easy feat, because doing the cancellation process, you have to actually search deep in the account settings to cancel your subscription. And along the way, before they even allow you to cancel, they try to cross-sell and promote you so many other services that Amazon has, which again makes it so hard to cancel these services. But we finally did it, and it has been 2 years since we have not had Amazon Prime. And you might be wondering, how do you survive? Well, we survive just fine. The interesting thing is you can still buy off of Amazon. They can also send you stuff free shipping. The key thing is you just have to plan ahead. And what we normally do is we would add things to the cart, and as the days or weeks go through, we will review that cart to see if the things we added are still necessary, and then buy it. And if it's over a certain amount, we still get free shipping. It still arrives at the door. It's still pretty quick, actually, considering that we're not Prime members. It arrives maybe a day or two later, but that's okay. So it just means that we are planning a little bit better when it comes to getting these items. Now, I know that convenience is something that we all want. We're all so busy, but I just want you to look at what you're spending money on, especially these subscription services, and see if it's worth it. Is it really worth it for your family? Is it worth it for the kind of home that you want? Or is it leading to clutter? Is it leading to more time for you cleaning, more time for you returning stuff, or more time for you managing? Third tip is to adjust your tax withholding. Now, if you receive a tax refund this year, it might be time to rethink about your tax withholding. Because if you are getting a tax refund, it means that you have sent more money to the government and they've held on to that money for the year, instead of you actually having that money come into your checking accounts to be used on a monthly basis. This might be why you're tight with your monthly budget. There's a common misconception out there that your tax refund is free money. In the latest video we did with CPA about tax myths, that is actually incorrect. You can watch that video here for more details about those tax myths. But the tax refund is not free money. It's your money that you have overpaid to the government. So if you are living paycheck to paycheck, if you are relying on your credit cards because you don't have enough during the month, but you are getting a large chunk of a refund, it's time to rethink that. What you will want to do is adjust your W-4 withholding. It is a form that tells the IRS what they can withhold for your taxes. If you fill that out properly, or you fill it out in a way that allows you to get a minimal refund, then you will have more on your paycheck on a monthly basis. To make that change, you'll need to speak with your HR rep and ask them how they can adjust your W-4 withholding and make sure they submit it so those changes get reflected in the next paycheck cycle. Imagine instead of getting $3,000 at the end of the year for your tax refund, you instead get $250 a month back on your paycheck. That might mean not putting anything on credit card because you have the means to meet your expenses. It might mean being able to put money into the stock market, so you're now taking advantage of a longer time horizon for investing, or it might just mean more breathing room, which can reduce the stress on yourself, your spouse, and your entire family when it comes to money. I totally get it though. Getting that $3,000 can feel like a windfall. But because it can feel like a windfall, we oftentimes spend that money in a way that may not make sense. We might already be spending it on fun stuff, on things that we wanted to get instead of the necessities. So rethink your tax refund and adjust it accordingly so that that money comes to you earlier as opposed to later in the year. If you like having that large sum come March or April because it allows you to pay for the bigger stuff, then what you can do instead is actually set up an automatic savings transfer from your checking to a separate savings account defined for whatever savings goal you have. That way you're not waiting for that large sum from the government, but instead you are being proactive, putting money away so that you have a large amount that you can use to pay for whatever your goals are. Before I get to the next tip, I need a favor from you. Based on YouTube analytics, a large percentage of you watching videos from Sisters for Fi are not subscribed to Sisters for Fi, which means you are missing content on how to pay off credit card debt, how to budget if you're going on maternity leave, and so much more tips to help you manage your money better for yourself, your family, and the next generations of your family. So consider subscribing to Sisters for Financial Independence so you don't miss money lessons as well as content that can help you manage your money better. Next tip is to go cash only for a week. Challenge yourself to take out some cash and use that cash for the whole week. Now, in a world where tap to pay is the default, paying by cash can seem outdated, it can seem old, it can seem weird, but studies show that paying cash leads us to spending less. A few weeks ago, I stumbled upon a quote from Dave Ramsey, and basically it said to move at the speed of cash. And this is exactly what cash does. It slows down your spending. It makes you be very intentional with what you are spending your money on. I want you to challenge yourself and your family to figure out a way to do a cash only week, which means you will only be using cash to buy and spend money. Of course, it can be tempting to grab your credit card, tap to pay, and so forth. But the goal of this challenge is to actually see the impact of letting go of something and how that forces you to rethink what you're spending money on. One of the challenges and the seamlessness of using credit cards is that we don't lose anything. We actually hand off our credit card and we get it back. So there is no loss and there's no pain. When we use cash to pay for something and we don't get any money back, we don't get any cash back, we feel that loss more than any other gain. So when you're letting go of $20, you're going to rethink if giving away that $20 is going to be worth it. I understand that cash isn't convenient, but it might be necessary because adding that friction to your spending might force you to pause a little bit and rethink if spending that money is worth it. As an added bonus to using cash, it's also given me the opportunity to help my daughter think about the exchange. We are all financial traders. We exchange our time and expertise for money, and then we use that money to exchange for products and services and food. She can see the tangible aspect of me giving money for something else. When I use cash, we can do a little math to figure out what our change is, and that can help her understand money in the long run. With cash, I can also show her that there is a limit to our spending, that $20 will only get us $20 worth of stuff. Unfortunately, when we use a credit card, most of those have very high limits. So it's hard to set that spending limit, and it's hard to see that as a child too. So think of cash too as an opportunity to teach your children about mindful money habits. Another bonus I have found with using cash is that many businesses will now incentivize you to pay by cash. When you pay by cash, they don't have to pay credit card fees or platform fees or anything else that gets added to the final cost of your products. So look around. The next time you go to your favorite pizza shop, the next time you go to a local store, see if they offer a cash discount or ask if they offer a cash discount. Chances are they will, because it saves the business money and it saves you money too. I think you will be surprised at how much money you save when you are not just tapping away, and this will mean more room in your budget for the other things that you want to do. If this video has been helpful and if you have been able to get a little money back to increase your budget with these tips, let me know in the comments. And of course, please share this video with another fellow mom who could use these tips. Next tip is to call and negotiate your bills. There is a reason that the Geico commercial is so popular. 15 minutes could save you 15% off of your car insurance. Now, I know many of us don't like to use the phones anymore, but calling and negotiating and getting a lower rate on your bills can add more room in your budget. So look at all the transactions coming from your debit card as well as credit card and call up those companies. If you have internet subscription, a car insurance, other insurance, call those companies and see if there's ways for you to get a lower or discounted rate. Picking up the phone could literally save you hundreds a month, but you have to do it and you have to try. Let them know that you value their service. Let them know that you have been a valuable customer, and then ask them to see if they can offer you a promotional rate or a lower rate. Now, for a lot of businesses, it makes sense and it's cheaper for them to keep you as an existing customer. It actually costs them more to acquire a new customer. So they are going to do their very best to try to keep you as a customer. If you have been with your provider for a long time, let them know that and then ask for a discounted rate. And if you're really stuck, I want you to turn to ChatGPT. ChatGPT can help you with some sentences if you need a script to use so that you know what to say and you don't fumble any words. You could also ask ChatGPT to give you a script that's very simple so that you are not babbling about what you're asking for and you have a direct and straight ask. I have a whole video on how to use ChatGPT to work with your day-to-day and how it can help busy moms outsource some of the work. There's even a tip there to help you with story time at night. You are welcome for that tip. So check that out here if you want to learn more about how to use ChatGPT to make your life a little bit easier. But moving back to this tip, here is a prompt that you can practice with to get you a script you can use to help negotiate some of your bills. Check it out, read through it, and make modifications as necessary. Add some details about your account and your family's use of the service so it's more personalized, and then use that to call up your provider. My last tip for you today is return the stuff that you don't need. Right now, I have a bag by the door that has around $100 worth of stuff that I need to return. And I get it. I also succumb to sales, some impulse buys, or a buy that I didn't realize we already had at home, so I definitely need to return it. So this is your opportunity and chance to take advantage of stores' return policy. Not abuse it, but take advantage of what the policy is so you can return stuff that you don't need. This will mean money back to your pocket. Now, I understand that unfortunately, a lot of the stuff out there has become so cheap that it might not be worth returning. But if you are not going to use it, if they're just going to lead to clutter in your home, then spend some time, maybe assign one day a week or maybe 2 days a month where you are reviewing the stuff that you bought, really seeing to see if it's necessary, and then returning those items. If you spend 1 hour returning $200 of items, you've just reclaimed $200 with that 1 hour. That's a great exchange of time and money. Go return those items. It all adds up. We also have to be careful with spending, but be careful with defaulting to reselling too. Unfortunately, things move very fast in our culture. And while reselling can seem like a good way and a good option to reclaim back your money, a lot of the stuff that's out there gets obsolete pretty quickly. There's a very small window of time and a small set of items that will actually hold their value over time. So if you hold on to an item and try to resell it, likely you won't get the full price. So you might as well return it and see if you can get the full price back from the original place that you bought it. So there you have it, 6 easy ways to free up cash today and get more from your budget so you can spend it on yourself and your family. Let me know in the comments which tip you are going to do this weekend. Do not forget to add one of these tips to your calendar so that it gets done and you get more back into your budgets. If you are working to free up yourself from credit card debt, I want to recommend this entire playlist where we talk about all the nuances of paying credit card debt. And if you still need help, with your budget, I want you to check out this video where we use ChatGPT to help streamline and optimize our budgets so we have more of it to use for our families. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.